And now, please welcome your host for this evening, Dr. Marianne Dewan, Santa Clara County Superintendent of Schools, and Nicole Taylor, President and CEO of the Silicon Valley Community Foundation.
Good evening. My name is Dr. Marianne Dewan, your Santa Clara County Superintendent of Schools, and I would like to personally welcome all of you to the 52nd Annual Santa Clara County Teacher Recognition Celebration. Please join me in giving an enthusiastic and warm welcome to my co-host for this evening, Ms. Nicole Taylor. We are very excited to have Ms. Taylor with us this evening. She is the CEO of the Silicon Valley Community Foundation, a significant partner of the Santa Clara County Office of Education. In addition to the amazing philanthropic work that Nicole is steering, it is fitting that she's joining us in honoring educators as she holds a master's degree in education and was a middle school science teacher. Yeah, let's give it up for Nicole. The Silicon Valley Community Foundation works with community partners to leverage the incredible resources, expertise, and skills of our Silicon Valley community as a means to deliver systemic changes that will create an equitable, economically secure, and vibrant future for all. Through the Santa Clara County Office of Education's partnership with the Silicon Valley Community Foundation, resources have been made available to close the digital divide, to enhance early learning, address food insecurity and housing insecurity, expand access to wellness centers on school campuses, advance youth civic engagement, promote equity, and lead efforts for kindergarten readiness. Truly significant partnerships. And I am grateful for the support, collaboration, and strong partnership. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, Ms. Taylor.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Dewan. It is truly my pleasure to be here this evening to celebrate and honor the stars of education, as teachers are responsible for making all other professions possible.
Before we begin this evening's program, and as you heard in the opening, we do ask that you please silence your mobile devices. Also, please refrain from flash photography. And if you would like to share highlights from this beautiful event on social media, please be sure to use the hashtag SCCStarTeachers and tag the Santa Clara County Office of Education. Now, at this time, it is my great pleasure to welcome Ivan Garcia, a mariachi soloist from STEAM at Stipe Elementary School in the Oak Grove School District. Please welcome Ivan to the stage.
¿Qué te pasa, chiquillo? ¿Qué te pasa? Me dicen en la escuela y me preguntan en mi casa. Y hasta ahora lo supe de repente, cuando Thank you. Hey! ¿Qué culpa tengo de quererte, María? De que tú seas el amor de mis amores. ¿Qué culpa tengo de quererte, María? ¿Qué culpa tengo de que Dios te adore? De que mis ojos te hayan visto, María. De que partí mi corazón siga latiendo. De que tú seas el amor de mi vida. De que te quiera tanto como yo te quiero. María, María, si no me quieres no me importa, María. Yo con quererte simplemente me conformo. Y aunque no quieras que te quiere de quererte, porque nací para adorarte y te adoro. De que mis ojos te hayan visto, María. De que partí mi corazón siga latiendo. De que tú seas el amor de mi vida. De que te quiera tanto como yo te quiero. María, María, si no me quieres no me importa, María. Yo con quererte simplemente me conformo. Y aunque no quieras que te quiere de quererte, porque nací para adorarte y te adoro. María, María, si no me quieres no me importa, María. Yo con quererte simplemente me conformo. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Ivan, for sharing your amazing talent with us. Incredible job. I'm very pleased now to introduce members of the Santa Clara County Board of Education who are present here tonight. First, our board president, Peter Ortiz. And trustee, Rosemary Kamei. And trustee, Claudia Rossi. Thank you for being here. I want to extend my gratitude to the Santa Clara County Board of Education for their partnership and commitment to leadership, service, and advocacy. Thank you, trustees, for your service. Tonight's festivities would not be possible without the support from the 6th District PTA. Linda Pfeiffer, president, is here with us this evening. Linda, please stand. Thank you. We'd also like to extend our gratitude to Bridget Watson, a trustee on the Sunnyvale School District Board and the president of the Santa Clara County School Boards Association. Bridget, please stand. I'm grateful for the strong collaboration and partnership we have with both of these organizations. I'd also like to take this time to recognize the Santa Clara County Office of Education cabinet members present tonight. Please stand. All of our district superintendents, school educational leaders, and our elected officials and trustees. Please stand. Please don't be shy. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to thank you for your service and your commitment to your communities. It's not easy work to be a superintendent or to be a school board member, so thank you for what you do.
Yes. As we begin, we would like to recognize and honor that we are on the traditional territories and ancestral homelands of the Tamiyan Nation. We recognize the indigenous peoples as the original stewards of the land, water, plants, and animals who called this place home. As these words of acknowledgement are spoken and heard, the ties that these nations have to their traditional homelands are renewed and reaffirmed. We respect the many diverse indigenous peoples still connected to this land on which we gather. We pay our respect to them and give thanks to all tribal nations and the ancestors of this place. And this evening begins the celebration of Diwali, Festival of Lights, 5 days that honor the triumph of light over darkness, knowledge over ignorance, and good over evil. We join with others in the intent to carry goodwill through the year.
Santa Clara County's Teacher Recognition Program began 52 years ago by husband and wife team Frank and Pauline Lowe. Mrs. and Mr. Lowe, longtime San Jose residents, were concerned that the turbulent political climate of the 1960s had seeped into public education and had drawn focus away from learning. Deciding that teachers deserve more public recognition, acknowledgement, admiration, and respect, Mr. and Mrs. Lowe held Santa Clara County's first Teacher Day celebration on September 26, 1970. And today, this celebration is one of the oldest and largest in the state. We are honored to have the Lowe's daughter, Sylvia Lowe, with us here tonight. Sylvia, please stand. It means so much to us that you've joined us here this evening and giving us this opportunity to acknowledge you and your family. The Santa Clara County Office of Education is proud to continue this honorable tradition. The teachers in our county are truly the stars of education. Our longtime friend and sponsor, the Santa Clara County Federal Credit Union, has partnered with the Santa Clara County Office of Education for more than 25 years. Under the leadership of President and CEO Rebecca Reynolds Lytle, County Federal Credit Union remains a generous and steadfast partner of our outstanding teachers. Rebecca sends her best wishes to all of the honorees, as unfortunately she's not able to join us in person this evening. She has, however, provided a recorded message we'd like to share with you all now.
Good evening. I'm sorry I'm unable to be with you in person this evening, but very excited to introduce these next awards. One of the most welcome duties of being President and Chief Executive Officer at Santa Clara County Federal Credit Union is to present the Civic Leadership and Arts Leadership Awards. No profession means more to our collective future than the teaching profession. The Civics Leadership Award honors exemplary educators who improve institutional culture, policy, and practice to advance opportunities to prepare students for active citizenship. Specifically, honorees inspire students to engage in their communities through democratic participation, respect, and appreciation of diversity and social responsibility. The Arts Leadership Award honors the special instructors who are inspiring students to excel in arts, languages, creative writing, and literature programs. Arts increase not only student engagement, but allow for self-expression, creativity, and overall increased academic achievement. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the Civics Leadership and Arts Leadership Awards.
Representing the Santa Clara County Federal Credit Union this evening will be Divine David, Senior Vice President and Chief Experience Officer. Divine, if you would kindly join us on stage to present our Civics and Arts Leadership Awards. Thank you for being here. And now to begin our recognitions. Tonight's Civic Leadership honorees are Amber Bruce Peter from Dr. T.J. Owens, Gilroy Early College Academy in the Gilroy Unified School District. Ms. Bruce Peter noted that she always wanted to be a teacher. She had amazing teachers throughout her educational journey, and as she got older, she realized that not everyone was as lucky. In her own words, "I want to give every student the same opportunity to have positive, encouraging teachers in their academic journeys." Ms. Bruce Peters' goal as an educator is to allow the space for every student to see themselves in academic text. She believes that students who see themselves reflected in the curriculum are more likely to feel comfortable in a classroom and to excel in their coursework. Congratulations. From Santa Clara High School in the Santa Clara Unified School District, we honor Pilar Svensson. Ms. Svensson is a national board certified teacher who has coached mock trial for the last 9 years. In her words, "I wanted to inspire my students to develop skills and knowledge that can help them seek fulfilling and meaningful lives. I wanted to encourage my students to seek adventure in their own learning and inspire students to create change in their community." Congratulations, Pilar. And our final Civics Leadership honoree for this evening is Julie Graham from Christopher High School in the Gilroy Unified School District. Ms. Graham's students often work on projects that address concerns of the students and community. Students draw attention to racism, body dysmorphia, negative self-image, academic challenges, depression, drug abuse, human trafficking, cyberbullying, suicide, and more. Through projects such as Ghosts in Our Society, students convey the message that struggles exist in society and that if you have encountered any of these ghosts, you are not alone. Ms. Graham is unable to join us this evening, but arrangements have been made to ensure she receives her award.
Tonight, in the Arts Leadership category, we honor 3 award winners. First, from Del Mar High School in the Campbell Union High School District, William Burkhead. Mr. Burkhead stated that when he was in elementary school, he was fortunate to have several amazing music and theater teachers who inspired him to want to share that knowledge and skills. He is quoted with, "As I grew older, I realized the tremendous impact teachers can have, and I wanted to be part of that." Mr. Burkhead learned early in his career that if it's to be, it's up to me, an approach he tries to instill in his students. He also noted that while teachers may not know what is going on in each student's world, they can still make a difference in their world. It is also worth noting that the student musicians who shared their talents with us during this evening's reception are a part of Mr. Burkhead's musical programs at Del Mar High School. Congratulations. From Gilroy High School in the Gilroy Unified School District, we honor Jonathan Souza. Mr. Souza grew up surrounded by music as the son of a public school music educator, noting that his choice to become a teacher was a natural one. Providing exciting and meaningful opportunities for young people to experience music is why he is an educator today. Music is an essential part of the human experience, and he believes that all students should have the opportunity to learn music and the arts. Mr. Souza believes all children deserve a full, equitable, and robust public school education that includes voices from diverse backgrounds, as well as deeply embedded support for their social, emotional learning. He believes youth need programs in areas of interest as well as their areas of need. Congratulations. And our final arts leadership honoree this evening is Deanne Ortiz McClendon from the Union Middle School in the Union School District. While Ms. Ortiz McClendon's methods of teaching might have changed over the years, her belief in the value of an arts education has not. She leads knowing that the arts are an essential component of a well-rounded education. The arts are not only fundamental to academic success, but to a student's mental well-being. Ms. Ortiz McClendon believes in empowering students to find their voice. Each student brings what they find interesting and important and shares this with the world. They are here to give voice to that which only they can give. They are unique and exactly what is needed in the world. Art is a gift they will have for life. Congratulations.
Thank you, Divine. And congratulations again to our civics and arts leadership honorees for sharing a vision of democracy in which all residents understand, appreciate, and engage actively in civic life, and for inspiring our youth to express themselves through the arts.
This evening, we will honor 4 winners of the STEM Innovation Teaching Awards, or INNIes, sponsored by the Tech Interactive. The INNIes highlight key principles of STEM: boldness, curiosity, collaboration, perseverance, and empathy. Please welcome from the Tech Interactive, Senior Manager of Education Resources, Sherry Birch. Sherry, if you could please join center stage. Now first, to boldness in STEM. Given to a teacher who takes the adventurous path by piloting an unfamiliar technology, STEM subject, or establishing new systems for bringing STEM to their students, team, or site. This innovative teacher inspires others to seek the rewards that come from exploring the horizons of STEM education. This year's recipient is Julie McKinley Reed from Country Lane Elementary School in the Moreland School District. After working in the high-tech industry after college, Ms. McKinley Reed felt her job was just a job. There was no meaning behind it, and it left her wondering what else was out there. After having her own children and volunteering at her son's co-op preschool, she realized she wanted to spend her days with our future leaders. Ms. McKinley Reed feels when students join her class each August, it is her job to foster their love of learning, partnered with curiosity, failure, and perseverance. Each day, she strives to have a community in her classroom where success for her students is not just about scores or grades, it is about experiences, growth, and having fun. In her classroom, she and her students celebrate their diverse backgrounds, experiences, and achievements. Ms. McKinley Reed noted that when her students say things like, "I wish we could have school on the weekends," she knows they feel connected to school in a way that goes beyond academics and is about the relationships they have created. Thank you and congratulations. Curiosity in STEM. Given to a teacher who has demonstrated a passion for inspiring curiosity in their students. This teacher seeks out innovative opportunities to spark wonder and encourages students to take the lead in their own learning. This teacher fosters STEM skill building through inquiry and hands-on exploration. This year's recipient is Jim Burnham from Silicon Valley Career Technical Education in the Metropolitan Education District. After 25 years in the high-tech field, Mr. Burnham made the jump from the corporate world to teaching high school students. Mr. Burnham wants all students to have access to the technical material that helps them understand the world in which they live. He noted that the future that students are going to move into looks very different from the future that existed 20 to 30 years ago. Mr. Burnham stated that teachers have an urgent need to understand that future and to help students thrive. Thank you, and congratulations. Collaboration in STEM. Given to a teacher, coach, or teacher pair who lead the charge for collaboration with colleagues, partners, families, or students to enhance STEM learning. This educator or duo uses an innovative model to demonstrate the value of working with others to bring in a wide range of perspectives and leverage diverse areas of expertise. This year's recipient is Chelsea Alvarez from Country Lane Elementary School in the Moreland School District. Ms. Alvarez decided to become a teacher because she aspired to be like the amazing role models that she had while she was in school. She was quoted saying, "I'm constantly striving to provide my students with engaging learning experiences while also providing a safe and caring learning environment. Watching students get excited about learning and watching them grow in confidence and skill over the course of a year is one of the most rewarding things I've experienced in my life. It's what keeps my passion for teaching alive." As a K-5 teacher, Ms. Alvarez never felt that science was an area of strength for her. However, after completing the WePro Science Education Fellowship at Stanford University, she found herself leaving every meeting with tangible ideas to enact in the classroom. And more than that, she personally felt a sense of rejuvenation after every debrief conversation with colleagues. Being able to talk through ideas and experiences with the lens of a science teacher, not just a primary grade teacher, was so powerful. She felt emboldened to take risks with her teaching, which ultimately led her to taking her skill set as a science teacher to a new level. For the first time, she felt capable as a science teacher, not just a teacher who also happened to teach science. Speaking with like-minded colleagues who approached the work with the same sense of wonder and eagerness to explore was the main reason for this change. Ms. Alvarez noted that the WePro Fellowship presented the perfect opportunity to grow her skill set as a science teacher and encouraged her to help others do the same through teacher leadership and the facilitation of collective reflection. Thank you and congratulations. Empathy in STEM. Given to a teacher who has shown and/or fostered empathy within their pursuit and development of STEM education at their site or district. This teacher might build agency in their students to act for the good of the community, inspire them to explore the experiences of others to inform their designs, or they might emphasize the importance of social-emotional contexts in STEM learning experiences and careers. This teacher connects their students to the real world, developing the next generation of innovators that our complex global community needs. This year's recipient is Mariah Flanagan from Payne Elementary School in the Moreland School District. Ms. Flanagan spent a decade working in advertising and marketing, but always knew something was missing. She loved creative work, but didn't feel that she had found her vocation. Now, her days are spent inspiring students to become lifelong learners. Ms. Flanagan describes herself as an educational leader with global brand marketing expertise who leverages design thinking to engage diverse groups of students within an inclusive classroom culture. She uses a vast variety of teaching strategies to maximize student learning and deliver results. She also utilizes the design thinking framework to create student-centered learning experiences that inspire learners to action. Ms. Flanagan is constantly researching social emotional learning to keep students emotionally grounded and feeling seen within her classroom. She and the students use Brené Brown's research to develop a gratitude practice that allows us to access more joy in life. The class also uses Mark Brackett's feelings chart to grow their emotional intelligence and discuss their feelings more accurately. Further creating a sense of empathy, the students practice weekly restorative circles to fuse connections and learn about their classmates. Ms. Flanagan stated that she is constantly reflecting on what she can do better and the ways in which she needs to grow, stretch, and flex as an educator. What is clear to her the longer she teaches is that this is the heart work and the hard work all wrapped in one. Thank you and congratulations. Please join me in another round of applause for our curious, bold, empathetic, and collaborative STEM honorees.
Teachers create and innovate in order to engage students. Education is the only profession that sets the groundwork and makes all other professions possible. Our educators truly are shining stars. Tonight, we are recognizing 30 Santa Clara County Teachers of the Year who were selected by their school districts for their exceptional dedication to students, skills in the classroom, and commitment to lifelong learning. These educators inspire a passion for education beyond the classroom. To help us honor our Teachers of the Year, I would like to welcome Peter Ortiz, President of the Santa Clara County Board of Education. Bridget Watson, President of the Santa Clara County School Boards Association. And Linda Pfeiffer, President of the 6th District PTA. Each of our Teacher of the Year honorees will receive an engraved Crystal Star Award. To celebrate our honorees, we'll first watch videos featuring each of them as they share their love for what they do. Now, let's meet the honorees.
One way that I try to get parents involved in their child's education is by inviting them, of course, to any event that we have in the classroom or on school campus. It's important for them to not only see the environment where their child is learning, but also to be present so that they can see that they value their child's education.
One of the things that I do at the very beginning of the year is I give kids homework for their parents the first night of school. And the homework is asking the parents to tell me what they feel would be important for me to know about their child. And parents are giving me information that is either successes or areas where their child is maybe struggling, and it's really helpful to me. So also, one of my favorite homework assignments is to play a board game with your family. Some families don't have a board game, and they had never played a game together, and they found out how much fun it is. So I want children and their extended families, whoever is living with them, to play together and to have fun and to really enjoy each other's company.
I like to go to my students' events outside of the school setting. So not only am I seeing them in the classroom and in a learning environment, but I'm also going to sporting events or their drama event. By senior year, it's almost like I'm part of the family because, we've engaged in conversations and gone through challenges and also seen, again, successes. So, I'm just grateful to be in that type of environment.
If I do a good job sparking my students to be curious, creative thinkers, they're going to bring that into their home. So last year I baked cookies to get my kids to think about science, to think about chemical reactions, and think about how do they use fractions in everyday life. I had one boy who I couldn't get motivated for math. He went home and he started baking cookies. He started coming up with his own recipes. He started sharing his recipes with me, and his math scores went up quickly because he started to see the reality of math in everyday life. So that's what I hope to do, and that's what I encourage parents to do as well.
I have many roles as a school nurse. I teach, I advocate, I manage, I help students get ready to learn, but they're not my only patient, really. My patients are also the parents and the families. Their children have a special health need, and the school or the teacher may not necessarily understand what that health need is and how that applies to teaching. So I love being that go-between and helping the parent communicate to the teacher exactly what the needs are for the child. Having just that connection with the family helps them to be more engaged in the school.
I motivate parents to get involved in their student education by forming bridges. The first conversations are always, how can I help? Here's what I see. What suggestions do you have? It's them knowing that I truly care.
I always like to tell my kids, go home and tell your parents something you learned, something you did. And by doing so, the parents hear their stories and they themselves become interested. They come to me and they ask, Mr. Hernandez, what can we do? And I tell them, just listen to your kids, listen to their stories, ask them what they're doing in class. And again, it goes back to the whole idea of if the kid is interested, if the kid is having fun, then the parents will be interested in having fun as well, or maybe at home listening to them.
From the Alum Rock Union School District, Milton Hernandez. Mr. Hernandez is a first grade teacher at Sylvia Cassell Elementary School. He has been an educator in the Alum Rock Union School District for the past 26 years. Yeah, this is very exciting. Mr. Hernandez noted that working with kids and experiencing their growth is the biggest reward he could ask for. He aims to provide a positive attitude, a high level of respect, and great expectations in the classroom every day. Milton Hernandez. From the Campbell Union School District, Gloria McGriff. Ms. McGriff is a fifth grade teacher at Capri Elementary School. Teaching is a second career for Ms. McGriff, who now has 15 years of classroom experience. She began as a substitute teacher to see if elementary education would be her next path. Being in a variety of classrooms, different grade levels, and seeing how different teachers approach teaching, she realized she enjoyed being with students and inspiring them. One teacher in particular used technology and had students developing game boards around content standards. And that was an inspiration for her to change her career and pursue education. Ms. McGriff is also a graduate of the Santa Clara County Office of Education's Educator Preparation Program. Gloria McGriff. From the Gilroy Unified School District, Jean Davis. Ms. Davis is an 8th grade language arts and social science teacher at Ascension Solorzano Middle School. With 21 years of experience as an educator, she continues to fill her heart through teaching and being a lifelong learner alongside her students. She says, "I fill my heart daily with the privilege of getting to empower my students, creating confident learners, and supporting their educational journey." Jean Davis. From the Los Gatos Saratoga Union High School District, Brian R. Elliott. Mr. Elliott is a special education resource teacher for grades 9 through 12 at Saratoga High School. He enjoys the multiple facets of special education, specifically building relationships of trust with students, so they feel safe to learn and try new things. Mr. Elliott explained that each day is different. He gets to teach and learn in all different grade levels and subjects, making his work new every day. He is a champion for his students to be successful members of society. Brian R. Elliott. From the Moreland School District, Kimberly Jones Miller. Ms. Miller is a district nurse for the Moreland School District. Her inspiration for becoming a school nurse stems from her son. She wanted to be an advocate for students with special needs. As a mother of a son with autism and cerebral palsy, she empathizes with families who advocate for their children's needs. She saw the convergence of healthcare and education during the pandemic and proactively took steps to create safety protocols and school testing sites. Kimberly Jones Miller. And from the Saratoga Union School District, Anne Marie Borgia Camp. Ms. Borgia Camp is a third grade teacher at Saratoga Elementary School. During her 36 years of experience at Saratoga Elementary School, she has established meaningful relationships with more than 1,000 students. She always referred to students in her classroom as her school family. Her room is a safe and warm place filled with lots of learning, kindness, and love. Anne Marie Borgia Camp. From the Mountain View Wistman School District, Jessica Rodriguez. Ms. Rodriguez is a third grade teacher at Monte Loma Elementary School. For the past 10 years, she has included students' primary language in her classroom, bridging the language barrier between Latinx families and their teacher. She loves the aha moments her students experience when learning something new. Jessica Rodriguez.
I think that one of the things that keeps students engaged is understanding their values, their strengths, and what their goals are. And when students have that direct connection between themselves and the content, they are much more likely to be engaged and learning.
I engage students in my classroom in a multitude of ways. Usually students have an answer to a lot of the things that we go over in class. It's just a matter of, are they afraid of saying it because they're afraid of being wrong? And so it's keeping it very low stakes in the classroom to where they realize and understand that making mistakes is okay. It's all about progress. And so once they get to see that, the participation starts coming.
When I'm thinking about student engagement, a lot of things kind of pop up. It's student choice. It is being enthusiastic about teaching. It is knowing relationships. I know my students, they know me. It's getting to know them. I tell the students, every day you got to give me your very best. I only have you for 180 days. And so after you leave, I want you to go and make great choices, and it's those habits that you've made in this classroom that will carry you through life and will be successful.
For me, priority is having a safe environment in my classroom and making sure that they can come in, they feel welcome, they're ready. I do hold high expectations for them academically and personally, so having my expectations prepared for them and allowing them to be ready for the classroom is a great way of engagement and allowing them to be themselves in a classroom where they can learn.
They don't care about what I know or what I want to share with them unless I care about them first. And so breaking that barrier down and just really getting down to who they are as a person and finding common interests and then following up on anything that's going on in their life really cultivates that connection. And once they have that connection and they have that relationship with me and we have that rapport, then I'm able to engage them, just that relationship first. It's the whole child that we're teaching, not just the student part.
I feel like the foundation of the engagement is really building relationships with students, and so I spend a lot of time in the beginning of the year really getting to know them and then making sure they have a lot of voice and choice in class. Yes, I'm the teacher, but it is our classroom, so I make sure that they get to have choice in what we're doing in the activities. Also making sure that they understand the why and try to include their interests in our learning.
Every day we are singing, we are moving, we are dancing, we are learning and celebrating one another, celebrating their successes and celebrating their mistakes, because that's how we all grow. And when you create that environment and you realize that we are a family, they all work together and they want to do better.
I always want all my students to feel super happy at school, and I talk about my family a lot because I want them to make connections with me as a person. We do a lot of fun things learning. We play games, we do movement, lots of hands-on activities. I think it's super important to always laugh with your students, and I love getting silly with them. And I always want them to feel comfortable to take risks, that that's how we learn, and that it's okay to make mistakes. And I think one of the most important things for me is that I want my students to leave each day knowing that I love being their teacher.
It's beautiful. From the Berryessa School District, Diana Martinez. Ms. Martinez is a 6-year veteran 8th grade science teacher at Piedmont Middle School. Ms. Martinez stated she enjoyed helping students learn about science and how it's connected to our daily lives. She believes that all students should have the opportunity to learn in an environment that fosters personal and academic growth. She strives to create a community that embraces each other's differences, allows them to express who they are, and reminds them that with practice comes progress. Ms. Martinez is unable to join us this evening, and arrangements have been made to ensure she receives her award. From Luis Valdez Leadership Academy, Alicia Torres. Ms. Torres is an 11th grade AP Spanish Language and Culture and 12th grade AP Spanish Literature and Culture teacher at Luis Valdez Leadership Academy. Her 5.5 years of experience have taught her so much about education and the needs of students. She is committed to providing a rigorous academic curriculum that instills a lifelong passion for learning and equipping students with the skills for social and academic success. Alicia Torres. From the Evergreen School District, Elizabeth Fong. Ms. Fong is a 4th grade teacher at Silver Oak Elementary School. She utilizes her 24 years of experience in education, working and supporting teacher candidates and those who are new to the profession as teachers. For the last 8 years, she has partnered with San Jose State for the past 8 semesters as a teacher candidate mentor. And a belated congratulations to her for completing the LEAP program from the Santa Clara County Office of Education in June 2022, Elizabeth Fong. From the Lakeside Joint School District, Heather Wingfield. Miss Wingfield is a transitional kindergarten and kindergarten teacher at Lakeside Elementary School. She enjoys seeing students grow a love for learning, which strengthens her passion for education during her 22 years of experience. She aims to guide all children in discovering their own learning styles, how they can best focus and be their very best self. Heather Wingfield. From the Los Gatos Union School District, Jennifer Splain. Miss Splain is a first grade teacher at Dave's Avenue Elementary School. Her inspiration for teaching comes from her mother, aunt, and grandmother, who were all teachers. Her passion for education started at the age of 5 with a classroom set up in her family playroom. Following in her mother's footsteps, she was excited to begin her now 27-year teaching career at Dave's Avenues Elementary School. Jennifer Splain. From the Morgan Hill Unified School District, Frankie Kellett. Ms. Kellett is a first-year administrator at Ann Sobrato High School. She previously taught 9th grade English and AP English language. She firmly believes that education is the great equalizer where students from different backgrounds and with different strengths can learn and grow from one another. Frankie Kellett. From the Oak Grove School District, Fariba Roberts. Miss Roberts is a 3rd grade teacher at Christopher Elementary School. Through her 13 years of experience, she has enjoyed seeing students grow throughout the year. She teaches her students to be kind and caring by encouraging her class to recognize classmates and write praises for each other. Ms. Roberts says it's heartwarming to see students light up as they read praises aloud. Fariba Roberts. From the Sunnyvale School District, Lindsay Choi. Miss Choi is a 7th grade science and AVID teacher at Columbia Middle School. She is the product of all her teachers, mentors, and colleagues who've inspired her throughout her education and 6-year career in education. She shares her gratitude for them all by thanking them for their support to become the teacher she is today, a lifelong learner who shapes the minds and hearts of the next generation. Lindsay Choi.
I think the greatest highlight is a culmination of all the little things. So it's like the little aha moments that happen throughout the day, or seeing a kid finally understand something that we've been talking about, or explain it to somebody else, and then that kid understands it a little bit more. There's no one defining moment. I think it's all those little ones every day that we see.
I really enjoy when my students come into class and they remember what I've taught them and they use that outside the classroom. So when I teach them PE, I hope that they are ready to go out into the world and continue their active walking with their children, being physically ready for themselves as they get to be adults. And I've seen how they come back and they tell me stories. My child has done this, or my child is walking now because of what you told me to do. And that's what I appreciate, is that they really took the time to remember what they've learned in class and used it with their children.
I had a student last year write me a card, and he said, "Thank you for always believing in me, even though nobody else has." He was having a difficult time in not passing his class, and I actually did a home visit and brought them food and some fruit that was his favorite, and that was a huge highlight in my life.
When I was teaching a lesson on subtraction with regrouping, I had students doing work up on the board, and I think it was 12 minus 9, and one kid said, "Well, it's just easier to do 9 minus 2. So why can't we just do it that way? And I said, that's a great question. So stopped the lesson completely, went a completely different direction than we were planning. But it turned out to be one of my best lessons I've ever done. It was something I didn't plan. It was just an organic thing that came to fruition. It was really great.
I know that last year was definitely difficult for all of the schools after we came back to in-school learning after the pandemic. But I would say that a student in particular who really struggled last year and working with the family and the parents and providing that counseling that the child needed and the lessons through the school and noticing how she was using these strategies and now how she's flourishing has definitely been the most highlights last year.
So last year we went outside, we went into the playground, and my students discovered pill bugs. One of the pill bugs came into our classroom and started crawling around, and some of the students got really curious, and the one particular student was really afraid of it. And slowly but surely, the other students and I decided to help this student explore their curiosity about the animal once they were ready to look. And by the end of the school year, this is the child that was picking them up and bringing them into the classroom, and that is real life learning. That's something they're going to carry with them throughout their life. That exploration, that hunger, and that passion to learn.
A lot of highlights over my years teaching in the Bay Area. Recently I had a student that came into us with 0 credits earned, and then over the course of 3 years, both him and I worked closely together, and he was able to earn all 200 credits and became a high school graduate and then went on to college. So that was one of the best highlights that I can say recently.
There's a magic that happens in a classroom. I am super proud of all of the different opportunities I brought to my students throughout my career, working with the Tech Museum, working with a Scottish dance company that came. I loved all of those extra things, but I also loved how just within the classroom there was a moment where this group of 30 students would come together and we would gel as family. Sometimes it happened at the beginning of the year, sometimes it happened at the end, but it was always a magical time.
From the Cambrian School District, Stacy Bebo. Ms. Bebo has been inspiring students for the past 23 years. She currently is an 8th grade English Language Arts and Social Studies teacher at Ida Price Middle School. Ms. Bebo recalled that since she was in elementary school, she knew she wanted to be a teacher. While in school, she always felt like the teachers favored the smart kids, so she promised herself that she would treat all students as if they were her favorite. Everyone has a special gift, and she wanted to teach all students they are valued. Stacy Bebo. From the Santa Clara County Office of Education's Opportunity Youth Academy, a County Board of Education authorized charter school, Kevin Jacks. Mr. Jacks teaches at the Opportunity Youth Academy at the Washington Youth Center location. Mr. Jacks' passion for teaching and learning is reflected in his students' achievement data. He develops caring and inspiring relationships with students, parents, and colleagues. Students respect him because he acknowledges their individuality and purposefully addresses their unique needs. Kevin Jacks. From the Franklin McKinley School District, Allie Victorine. Ms. Victorine is a 6th grade teacher at Windmill Springs Elementary School. A 4th generation teacher, her 28-and-a-half-year career in education was inspired by the staff at Windmill Springs Elementary School. She says they see the value in every student's contribution. She is also a lecturer at San Jose State University, encouraging the next generation of educators. Ms. Victorine is unable to join us this evening, and arrangements have been made to ensure she receives her award. Congratulations. From the Loma Prieta Joint Union School District, Janice Riccomini. Ms. Riccomini was encouraged to pursue a career in teaching after her daughter's kindergarten teacher observed her volunteering in her classroom, a career that she pursued for 17 years. One of her most favorite activities while teaching at Loma Prieta Elementary School was her book club. No matter the grade or reading level, all students are able to participate. Ms. Riccomini noted that through book club, students develop skills in both teamwork and individual responsibility, and they challenge themselves to be responsible for their own learning, all while further developing their reading skills. Ms. Riccomini retired at the end of the 2021-22 school year after having found her passion in education. Ms. Riccomini is unable to join us this evening, and arrangements have been made to ensure she receives her award. Janice Riccomini. From the Luther Burbank School District, Deanna Benavides. Ms. Benavides has been an elementary school counselor for the past 18 years. She believes the social and emotional development of a child is an integral part of the student support system, and that as a school counselor, creating a school climate that promotes healthy learning, living, and personal growth is always her priority. Having the opportunity to work with children and help prepare students academically and emotionally, not only in school, but beyond the school environment, brings Ms. Benavides the most joy. Deanna Benavides. From the Mount Pleasant Elementary School District, Christine H. Okada-Seke. Ms. Okada-Seke is a transitional kindergarten teacher at Mount Pleasant Elementary School. Her philosophy for educating early learners is rooted in the belief that children learn and thrive in an environment that promotes and values diversity, inclusion, emotional engagement, and developmentally appropriate practices. She also believes that the arts play a vital role in developing the imagination and creativity in our early learners. Ms. Okada-Seke noted that TK educators and support staff have the opportunity to ignite and cultivate a passion for learning through a variety of learning modalities. In her words, "We are a class community that celebrates the joy of learning together and focusing on building foundations for academic success for all children." Christine H. Okada-Seke. From the San Jose Unified School District, Rebecca Taub. Ms. Taub, who's been teaching for 6 years, stated that in addition to teaching, being the director of the Young Families Program at Broadway High School is her dream job. Being a part of the program gives her the opportunity to support students who could have fallen through the cracks. Ms. Taub loves having the opportunity to work with students and families as it allows her to encourage and inspire students to finish high school. Rebecca Taub. From the Union School District, Sean Miller. Mr. Miller is a math and leadership teacher at Dartmouth Middle School. He developed his love for teaching through an internship at an elementary school during his senior year of college. Mr. Miller loved helping the students learn something new and seeing the spark in their eye when they finally understood it. In his words, I knew that I wanted to continue helping students be better both inside and outside the classroom. Sean Miller.
I feel like I make a positive impact in my students' lives because I meet them where they are and I build off of their strengths. I feel it's really important to build their self-awareness that they can grow and change.
I think a lot of students with disabilities oftentimes get overlooked, but in a way, for me, it's kind of what lights my fire. And so I think a lot of my students would have a harder time finding a job outside the home. And so that's why we really focused on self-employment. And then we started a classroom business called Camden's Crafting Everlasting. And then the students make products and we sell them at farmers markets. And that's how they earn money back for the program.
The way I like to try and make a positive impact on my students' life is to really show them the barriers that they might be coming across when they're in school and learning, and to get them to identify those barriers, teach them how to deal with the barriers, work around the barriers, how to make school successful for them, even with the challenges that might come up in front of them. If a student can walk away with that ability to advocate for themselves and their unique needs in different settings, then I have done my job.
When you think about how you connect with students each day, it's so important to get to know them individually. Students work best with people that they know and people that they believe care about them. Throughout my work, I feel like I really felt strongly about getting to know my students and really building those relationships in order to keep the academic work really strong.
It's really giving students a new opportunity or different opportunities to experience whether it be school or the world differently. School isn't just academics, it's also caring for one another, and that's something that I think applies so well to their lives beyond being in school. So I think just modeling that empathy and compassion makes a positive impact for them.
Ways that I try to make a positive impact on my students who I teach Spanish to are to recognize the beauty of learning a language and how it's so tied to culture and identity and history. I allow students to connect with problems in their community, ways that their community can be better, and I can help empower them to seek out unique and creative ways to improve their communities. I'm trying to set them up for success in life and equip them with skills like emotional awareness, empathy, those skills that will allow them to succeed far beyond after they've gone through my classroom.
I've had students as young as 19, as old as 74, and they still wanted to get their high school diploma. So the bottom line is, at this point, it's not so much motivating them, it's just kind of plowing the road and help them achieving their goals. So they inspire me as much as I inspire them, because this is something they want. And anything we can do as a group, as a community, as a district, to help them achieve that goal, I'm all for it.
From the Campbell Union High School District, Marie-Julie L. Murray. Ms. Murray is a post-secondary education teacher at Camden Post-Secondary Academy. A 15-year veteran, Ms. Murray enjoys helping others find creative ways to engage students. She is a firm believer that all students can learn and that they can find joy in learning. She encourages and supports her students to create meaningful futures for themselves. Marie-Julie L. Murray. From the Cupertino Union High School District, Joan Orvik. A former elementary school teacher, Ms. Orvik is a new administrator at John F. Kennedy Middle School. Ms. Orvik's passion for teaching comes from the relationships that are built with students each year. She notes that every student brings something unique to the classroom, and the special dynamic that is created between teacher and students is something that pulls her back to teaching year after year. Ms. Orvik strongly believes that in order for a student to come to school ready to learn, they must feel that they are accepted by their teacher and have a place in the school community. Throughout her years as a teacher, she worked hard to not only build these relationships within her classroom, but with as many students as possible within the entire school. She recently rebooted the Peace Patrol program at her elementary school site. This program gave upper grade students the opportunity to take on leadership role and support all students at recess and lunch in a variety of ways. All students enjoyed the opportunity to get to know students in different grade levels and give back to the school in a positive way. It was also an excellent way to teach all students about the school rules and model positive behavior support for all. Joan Orvik. From the Fremont Union High School District, Elizabeth Louis. A French and engaged teacher at Lynbrook High School, Ms. Louis stated that she's loved teaching since she was little, that there was something about helping others and seeing them finally get it that felt satisfying. Now, years after teaching her little sister math on a whiteboard at home, she has found this profession to be so much more than just teaching content. Ms. Louis loves having the opportunity to help young adults discover their potential and to see them grow into that over the years they are in her classroom. Elizabeth Louis. From the Los Altos School District, Molly Smoke Kesselring. Dr. Kesselring has been at Block Intermediate School the last 6 of her 27-year teaching career, co-teaching middle school history. She states that having a hybrid position of both a co-teacher and a co-teaching instructional coach has been the perfect blend of helping the district strengthen their co-teaching program and staying in the classroom as a co-teacher to really practice what you preach. The high level of conversations that happen in a co-taught classroom are wonderful to be included in and help all students benefit from 2 unique specialists being in the classroom. Molly Smoke Kesserling. From the Metropolitan Education District, Bill Collins. For the past 40 years, Mr. Collins has been teaching all levels of high school mathematics. An accomplishment that Mr. Collins is most proud of, his treatise, PACS, the Coalition for Change. Mr. Collins notes it encapsulates his philosophy of education, that parents, administrators, counselors, teachers, and students, PACS, must work together for the greater good, the greatest good, the education of students. And the greater the harmony and agreement or coalition among these groups, the greater the success of the school and all involved. Bill Collins. From the Santa Clara Unified School District, Claudia Lopez. Ms. Lopez, a special education teacher at Westwood Elementary School, believes that all students can learn and acknowledges that some students learn differently than others. She states it is the job of an educator to find the students' strengths and use those strengths to help them learn. In her words, when we have a growth mindset and really believe that our students can learn and grow their brains, then they believe it too. Also, I believe that we need to take a positive approach with all students, telling them 5 positive statements before giving them one to grow on. Ms. Lopez has been helping students establish a growth mindset for the past 12 years. Claudia Lopez. From the Mountain View Los Altos Union High School District, Lauren Camarillo. A Spanish teacher and advisor for the Mountain View High Ambassador Program, Ms. Camarillo comes from a long line of educators. From a young age, she got to see the ways her family members help their students reach their full potential as learners and as people. This motivated her to find ways to make a positive impact in her own community. After being a peer tutor in a math class during her freshman year of high school, she knew she wanted to become a teacher. As she continued tutoring and mentoring throughout high school and college, she further solidified her decision to become an educator. Earlier this month, State Superintendent of Public Instruction, Tony Thurmond, named 5 exceptional educators as the 2023 California Teachers of the Year. We are proud to say that Ms. Camarillo was among the 5 selected. She and her fellow State Teachers of the Year are ambassadors for the profession and will serve as representatives of the state for the calendar year. State Superintendent Thurmond, who began his career as a social services worker, said he is pleased to recognize the 5 outstanding teachers who have had a tremendous impact in their schools, on students, and in communities, and have gone above and beyond during a challenging time in education and in our lives. Congratulations, Ms. Camarillo. To celebrate this amazing accomplishment, we would like to present you with a bouquet of flowers. We are extremely proud of you. And thank you, Presidents Ortiz and Watson and Linda. We appreciate your support for the teacher honorees. Thank you for being here. We are so proud to have each of you representing the incredible work in Santa Clara County classrooms. Thank you.
From the bottom of our hearts, thank you, teachers, for everything you do. Let's again thank our generous sponsors and friends who made tonight possible. And of course, let's give our Teachers of the Year and Civics, Arts, and STEM Any Award winners a final and robust round of applause. I would be remiss if I didn't take a few moments to give special thanks to all of the Santa Clara County Office of Education staff whose incredible vision, hard work, and dedication truly made tonight's event possible. And to the Santa Clara County Office of Education team members who volunteered tonight to help make sure things run smoothly, and to our caterers, school partners, and more. Please join me in giving a robust standing ovation for the entire team. Please stand. Please stand. Some of them are behind you, some in the hall, some backstage, and so many, so thank you. I also want to thank you, Nicole, for being such a fabulous co-host and for your incredible leadership, partnership, and friendship. We are delighted to have you.
It's been an honor, truly, it's been an honor.
I'd like to present you with a token of appreciation.
Thank you.
And now, to our celebrated stars of education, we're going to invite you to please join us in a group photo with your award at the Federal Credit Union backdrop in the main lobby. So here's the directions. If all of our honorees would stand, everyone else can be seated for just one moment. We want to memorialize your amazing accomplishment. So all of our teachers here are standing. And as your county superintendent of schools, I want to thank you all and congratulate you for your contributions to public education and for the difference you make in the lives of our students. Congratulations.
So we'll allow them to leave first.
Yes.
To go out for the picture.
So please, everyone, allow our honorees to exit first so they can make it to our photo backdrop. And good night, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight.